Let me tell you something that might surprise you. WordPress by itself is pretty basic. Like really basic. Think of WordPress like a brand new smartphone. When you first take it out of the box, it can turn on, it can send a text, maybe take a picture, but it doesn't really do much until you start downloading apps. So no Instagram or social media, no maps. Well, you might have maps if you have Google or iPhone. But after you do begin to download some apps to your smartphone, it's the apps that turn your phone into something powerful. That's exactly what plugins are inside of WordPress. Plugins inside of WordPress are going to be those apps that you add to give your website more functionality. You want a contact form? Plugin. You want to do some SEO work on your website? Plugin. You want to add animations, security, bookings, payments? Plugin. So when people say WordPress is confusing or not so great, most of the times they're using it without the right plugins. Because again, without plugins, WordPress is just the foundation. So in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to properly install and activate plugins to your WordPress website. That way you can actually start using your website and it can start working for you. Let's go ahead and hop right into it. Now, inside of the actual WordPress dashboard, you can access the plugins or the apps to add extra functionality to actually what your WordPress website can do. You need to make sure that over on this left side panel, you see this tab here that says plugins, and that's the one you want. You can either browse through the install plugins like the ones that you already have, but in this case, we don't have any, so we're going to click on add plugin. Now, this is going to take you directly to the plugin repository, or basically all of the apps that you have that you can now browse through and see what plugins they already have on here that you can start adding to your WordPress to add or expand the functionality. Now, they do have a few categories right here at the top category bar. So right now on the featured ones, this is what they have. Then you can also go underneath the popular tab, and of course they will have all of the top plugins that most people are using on their websites. And they even tell you, if you look at the individual cards, they give you the ratings. Now, this is Elementor. This is actually the page builder that I'm currently using right now. I absolutely love it. And if you guys want a full tutorial, I already have that on my channel. Be sure you guys go check that out. However, they have the reviews here letting you know how many people have reviewed it, how many active installations it already have, which I think is very, very important when you're looking for adding the app to your actual website as well. You also see the last time it was updated and the compatibility with your version, because right now every WordPress installation, they can kind of read as you're going through these plugin repository. They can read the version of your WordPress, and so they will let you know if it's compatible or not, which I also think is a very, very good indication before you install and activate any plugin on your WordPress website. Now, these are going to be some very good pieces of information right here. This little gray box right here, you need to make sure that you're always reading this, because for one, with the reviews, you need to make sure that a lot of people are using it and actually enjoying this plugin. And you can always, of course, click on more details right here, and this will give you a full in-depth information about this particular plugin. So as you see, you can read this full description right here, and they even have other outside links that link back to the personal website of the plugin. And then on this right side panel or sidebar, you have the version here, so you can see what version this actual plugin is currently on. All of the details right here with some outside links. And then right here, you can see that rating again. And you can see that 6,000 people have rated it 5 stars. And then, of course, you have a few right here. Now, all you have to do, of course, is just click on it, and it'll actually bring you to read more about the reviews of what people are actually saying, when is the last time they posted this actual review, to make sure you're getting some up-to-date feedback, right? And a bunch of other different things right here. And as you see, this will be on their WordPress.org site right here. Back over here, though, you do have some other tabs like the installation, so you can read more about the installation process. So the requirements, the recommended requirements, the installation process, all that good stuff. You even have some facts, so if you have any questions in the back of your brain, you can come here quickly and see some basic facts that maybe they've already answered the basic ones that you might, have in your head. Then you have the change log, which is very important to some people. If that is important, if they do have that. screenshots to kind of like give you an idea of what things do and just show you more about the particular plugin. And of course, a quick way to get to the reviews without going off site. When we clicked over here earlier, now you can just read them right here and they'll tell you everything that they feel about the individual plugin. So that's going to be super important that you are always, no matter what plugin you choose, no matter what you think you may need on your website, always make sure to choose these more details so that you can take a deeper dive into what plugins you are adding on your site. Because if you add anything that is incompatible with your WordPress version, incompatible with other plugins, or just overall not been up to date by the devs of that particular plugin or app, then you can put your website at risk. So this is super important to make sure that you are paying attention to that. One rule of thumb that I always go by is right here is to really pay attention to this right here. This right here, the last updated, this piece right here will tell you everything you need to know about the devs and the team behind whatever plugin or app you're trying to add to your website. If it haven't been updated in, honestly, for me, I go rule of thumb 1 month at the very least if I literally need it. But you definitely don't need to be adding anything to your website that is under 3 months. I mean, more than 3 months haven't been updated. Honestly, two if you ask me. Honestly, one if you ask me. But I'm just giving you rule of thumb because it really just depends on what type of plugin you're using as well. If it's something that doesn't require much needed to be done with it, like if it just gives you a small little function to hide notifications or something, then maybe that one doesn't have to be updated. But if it's going to be something big like WooCommerce, right, this is going to allow you to create an online store. So this gives you that e-commerce functionality to your WordPress website. Well, something like this definitely needs to be updated 3 days ago and not 3 months ago. Of course, you have other tabs here for recommended. So these are going to be the ones that they recommend. And then I also have favorites. So as you start to kind of like favorite certain plugins, then they will be right there. Now, this is just for you to browse what they already have in a library and install and activate it. However, you do have the option right here to upload a plugin. All you have to do is click on upload plugin, and then it'll bring up this little pop-up that says choose a file. Obviously, this is going to be a way that you can upload plugins that you probably got from a third-party website, or maybe you got something directly from the website itself or the plugin itself. So let's go back for a second. Inside of the popular, remember I just showed you guys that Elementor is a page builder that you could use to design out your website with a page or drag and drop type of feel, right? Right here is just the free version. So if you install and activate this particular plugin, it will only give you the free version of Elementor. Let's go ahead and install this. It's going to be super important to also note that every plugin definitely needs to be installed and activated. So once it's already installed, then the button will turn blue for you to activate it. So let's go ahead and activate it. And of course, it will bring up this little pop-up. I've already skipped a lot of this stuff. I just forgot to tell you guys, but you can, of course, go through this and set up everything. I'm just going to skip through this because I really just want to get back to the dashboard because this isn't the part of the series where we actually do anything inside of Elementor. All right, so now that I have the Elementor plugin installed and activated, as you see now on this side panel, we now see a new tab, which is the Elementor tab. And we have some options of what we can do right here. And also, if we were to go to the plugins and click on install plugins, you now see that we have one plugin that sits right here, which of course will be the Elementor one. And of course, we have quick options of what we can do. We can deactivate it. We can go to the settings of this particular plugin and start, updating some settings or everything like that. And then you have some other options here. So you can bulk do actions. So let's just say we had a few more plugins. We can choose whatever we want and we can do bulk actions, whether activate, deactivate, update, delete, or enable and disable the auto updates. Now all I have to do is click on apply. This first tab, of course, will by default bring you on all, but you can also just go through the active plugins or the deactivated plugins and etc. I'm pretty sure you guys get the gist of this interface right here. Now, again, this was just installing a plugin from just simply looking at the plugin repository and saying, hey, I want this, install and activate. Now, that was just the free version of Elementor. And if we were to type in Elementor once more right here, let's say we were looking for Elementor Pro, If we were to do that now, you will see that we already have that one Elementor plugin, which is this one right here. The other ones aren't necessarily Elementor. These are other plugins that work with Elementor. But we want Elementor Pro. That's where this upload plugin option comes into play. So if we were to go on any other plugin website, whether it be Elementor, CrocoBlock, whatever, any of these, if they have pro versions, more than likely when you purchase the pro license of any of these plugins, they're going to give you the downloadable file for you to upload inside of WordPress, similar to this Elementor right here. So this is the free one, but if I wanted to upload the pro version, I would just choose my file. It'll then open up the window, of course, for the files on your website. On your computer. And then right here, you can now choose any of those plugins. So here's the Elementor Pro plugin, and now I'm going to go ahead and install this one. And it's going to bring me to this page that the installation is good. Now we need to activate the plugin. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that button. And it'll bring us back over here to the plugins page. And as you see, now we have 2 plugins actually installed. And right here, all we have to do now is just go ahead and connect and activate. So if you do have a pro license for any of the plugins, the only thing you have to do from there is just go ahead and connect it, and you're pretty much good to go. And that's pretty much how the plugins inside of WordPress works. You have the list of all your installed plugins, and then you have this page right here, which is going to be the plugin repository for you to come search and browse and install and activate new plugins. Again, plugins don't do anything but expand the functionality of what WordPress can do, because WordPress is blank starting off. And in order to give it functionality to do things like making sure that you can drag and drop and build out your website with a page builder like Elementor, or do some advanced SEO with a plugin like Yoast. And if you want to add forms to your website, Contact Form 7 is a good one. Or WooCommerce, I don't use WooCommerce anymore, I use SureCart. But if you want to give your WordPress website e-commerce functionality, you have that. I'm pretty sure you get the picture. If not, feel free to comment down below. I always love to hear you guys' feedback. But that's pretty much how the plugins work inside of WordPress and how it can help you expand the functionality of your WordPress website. Now, I kind of just went over how to kind of install your WordPress plugins, but I will in the next video be sharing my top recommendations of plugins that every WordPress users should have installed on their WordPress website. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, be sure that you do have your bell notifications already turned on, because that will be our next video. And that pretty much wraps up this tutorial.